They say names have power. But what if I told you there's one name so powerful it cannot be fully spoken, defined, or even understood, and yet it defines existence itself? A name so shrouded in mystery, ancient rabbis dared not utter it, and theologians still wrestle with it today. This wasn't just a moment of divine self-introduction. It was a cosmic confrontation. A moment when the veil between eternity and time tore open, and a voice spoke from fire. If you've ever felt like you're standing at the edge of something sacred but can't quite explain why, then this is the episode for you. Don't just watch. Subscribe if you crave deeper truths, forgotten mysteries, and the untold meanings buried in the Word. Tap that bell so you don't miss the stories that shake your spirit awake. Because what happened at that bush wasn't just about Moses. It was about you. Most of us know the story, or at least we think we do. Moses, exiled in the wilderness, tending sheep near Mount Horeb, stumbles upon a strange sight, a bush engulfed in flames, but not consumed. From within it, a voice calls out, "Moses, Moses." "Here I am," he replies. Exodus 3 verse 4. It's in this moment that God reveals his name. I am who I am. Exodus 3 verse 14. In Hebrew, it's Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. Translated, it can mean, I am who I am. I will be what I will be. I am the one who is. A strange answer, isn't it? Moses asks for a name and gets an enigma. Why didn't God just say Yahweh? Why this riddle wrapped in divine fire? Let's break open the mystery. The fire that doesn't burn. In the ancient Near East, fire was a symbol of divine presence, but also divine judgment. Gods of neighboring cultures like Baal and Molech were often associated with devouring fire. But this fire, it burns without consuming. Why? Because the true God reveals his essence as transformative, not destructive. A God who burns without erasing, purifies without annihilating. Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh isn't just a poetic phrase, it's a time-bending paradox. It is a name built from a Hebrew verb to be, Ehyeh, suggesting a God outside time. Ever-present, ever-acting, self-defining. And here's where it gets wild. In ancient Hebrew, the verb form used is imperfect, suggesting incomplete action. God is not a static being, but dynamic, living, always becoming in relationship with his people. Stick around, because in just a few minutes we'll uncover a connection between this name and a hidden prophecy embedded in the Gospel of John, one that got Jesus nearly stoned to death. Let's slow down and zoom in. Exodus 3 verses 13 to 14 ESV. Then Moses said to God, "If I come to the people of Israel and say to them, 'The God of your fathers has sent me to you,' and they ask me, 'What is his name?' what shall I say to them?" God said to Moses, "I am who I am." The Hebrew here is Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. God tells Moses, "Say this to the people of Israel, 'I am has sent me to you.'" Now here's where it gets fascinating. The word Ehyeh is a first-person verb, I am. But in later references, especially in scripture and Jewish tradition, this morphs into Yahweh, a third-person form meaning he is or he causes to be. Why the shift? Because no one else can say, I am, like God can. To speak it for yourself is, well, bold. Maybe even blasphemous. And yet, centuries later, someone did. Jump forward to John 8 verse 58. Jesus is arguing with the Pharisees about Abraham. He says, "Truly, truly, I say to you, before Abraham was I am." Not I was. Not I existed. But I am. And not in Greek, either. Scholars believe he was referencing Ehyeh directly, invoking the divine name. The response. So they picked up stones to throw at him. John 8 verse 59. Why? Because they understood exactly what he was saying. He wasn't just making a poetic statement, he was claiming to be the same voice from the burning bush. The fire that didn't consume in Exodus now stood before them in flesh. and they couldn't handle it. To ancient Israelites, names weren't just labels, they were identities, purposes, destinies. Compare this to gods of Egypt, Ra, Osiris, Anubis, each with a domain, a box they could be placed into. Not YHWH. YHWH doesn't give Moses a name to control. He gives Moses a reality to submit to, a being beyond category. As the first-century Jewish philosopher Philo of Alexandria wrote, only the self-existent can say, I am. And here's a twist. Some scholars believe the name YHWH may have originally been pronounced with a breath-like sound, inhale, exhale, as if the very act of breathing invokes the name of God. Even in silence, he is. Even when we don't understand, he remains. Let's bring this home. What does this mystery actually mean for you and me today? When God said, I am, he wasn't just giving Moses a name. He was revealing a relationship. A God who is when we are not. A God who will be when we can't see what's ahead. A God who is self-existent but not self-absorbed. And maybe the fire that doesn't consume is a metaphor for us. God can dwell in you, ignite purpose in you, without burning you to ash. He doesn't need you to have it all figured out. He just wants you to be present, so he can be present with you. So what was the burning bush really about? Not just a spectacle, not just a call to mission. It was a theological earthquake where the infinite collided with the finite and said, I am with you. And that's the point. The mystery isn't just that God is unexplainable. It's that he chooses to be known through fire, through name, through Christ. If this lit a fire in your soul, don't let it go out. Subscribe for more mysteries like this. Bible truths the surface never told you, and the ancient echoes that still whisper today. Leave a comment. What does I am mean to you? Have you ever felt like you encountered your own burning bush moment? Like, share. Let the word spread like fire that never dies out. And remember, sometimes the answers we seek aren't in explanations, but in the God who simply says, I am.